A late arriving crowd in Sydney. They can call it the traffic on a Friday night, whatever it is. Sydney are very casual about making it to the opening of anything.
You did right, Steve. And tonight, the level of urgency needs to be picked up a notch. As we saw last Saturday with the Sydney Kings, they are capable of playing some very, very good basketball. But at 8 and 10 games remaining, you'd expect that they need at least 15 wins. So they need to go 7 and 3 in their last 10 games, and the home wins are generally easier to come by.
And they have it up against them tonight as both guys go upstairs, and it goes to the Perth Wildcats, who get the first possession. Lish, super tough cover as Luke Cooper out on the floor. They go with the two Lukes at the point. Redditch trying to get some good position down low. He does. He gets it to Luke Neville, sprays a 17-footer.
You can't ignore Luke Neville from that range. He's got good touch from that distance, and he knocks that one down with nothing but cotton. Julian Kazoo is going to be a big, big priority for the Sydney Kings. He's been doing a great job on the boards, but just not shooting the ball as well. Only at 38% since he's come back from his stint with the Golden State Warriors. But Ben Madgen, he was spectacular last week, and he starts this week as he finished against the Crocs.
Very confident start for the shooting guard of the Sydney Kings. Ties it up at 2. Lish gets it back to Redditch. He lines up his three ball, comes up short. ANZBallaz pulls down the board.
Last time these two teams met, the Perth Wildcats hit their highest score for the season at 103 points, and that's got to be a priority for the Kings. As we mentioned last week, teams get scoring up around that hundreds. Becomes very, very tough to beat.
Grant did all the hard work of creating space for himself down low, a little long with it off the back of the iron. Neville. Single coverage against Kazoo. A long left-hand jump hook. And that's off the mark.
Just goes to show the depth of the Perth Wildcats. They're missing Matthew Knight, who's averaging 12 points a game. There's Julian Kazoo with a very early three. Great rebound, great work around the glass by Anatoly Bose. But Steve, no Matthew Knight, who's averaging those almost 13, 12 points a game. And they don't miss a beat because they've got Luke Neville and Sean Redditch to bang away down low.
Well, Anatoly Bose just really hanging around the right place at the right time. It was two Perth Wildcats that were going for the rebound and knocked it out of each other's hands. It just goes to show you should never give up on anything. He gets 1 out of 2 to give the Sydney Kings a 1-point lead. Kevin Lish will bring it up for the Perth Wildcats. Tovey. He traveled, just slid that pivot foot.
He thought Luke Neville was going to go back door, so his receiver faked him out and caused that travel. Kevin Lish has been in rare form, and this is the thing that's going to worry the Sydney Kings, because the Perth Wildcats cause more turnovers than any other team in the competition, mainly through that extended defense. And there we see Jeray Wright down low. But hard to find a more aggressive and dynamic backcourt. They're small, but when you think of Kevin Lish and Damian Martin, that is a nightmare for any point guard in the competition.
Drury, I like the fact that if you're going to get pressured by the Perth Wildcats, if you are tentative in any way, you're playing right into their hands. You can't be afraid of making a turnover, and I like how Luke Cooper went about it. He attacked them, created something for his team with an advantage of his speed. Now, if you're just going about things trying not to make a mistake, then you are an undersized guy that is a liability for your ball club.
You did right. I think that against the Wildcats, though, it's a double-edged sword, because if you don't get a result when you attack that press, you're talking about the highest scoring team in the competition, averaging 88 points a game, and that's really going to play into their tempo if you take those quick shots. So the Wildcats sometimes almost invite the quick shot to get you into that hurry-up style of play, because that's where they are most dangerous. And there we see Sean Redditch going to go to the line to shoot a couple. Sean Redditch is most people remember coming off a horrific hip injury he sustained against the Adelaide 36ers.
A broken hip.
A broken hip, and that's, at his age, something he shouldn't have to be dealing with. Just one of those innocuous sort of situations too, running down the floor and diving, just hip gave away. And he's been variable this season, but still averaging 14 points a game.
Again, the dribble penetration by Cooper gets Magid a wide open look. He's not able to connect. Tovey pulling up, going left. He drills that one. Talk about a guy that confidence has grown.
Hasn't it ever? I mean, that really wasn't his strength when he first came into the league. A super athlete, plays the game at a very high IQ and great defender, but a liability from the perimeter. But over the last few years, just grown in confidence, knocking down the three, and look at this, can go to the rack, create things off the dribble.
Perth having no trouble getting past the Sydney Kings with their dribble penetration. Tovey with the offensive rebound and the putback.
And that's what he's renowned for. Good instinct for the ball. Works every single possession. He's going to go to the glass and gets the reward there.
That gives Perth the 1-point lead. Backdoor cut pass is terrible. Eventually gets to Bowes.
Shot clock issue, I think we've got.
Yeah, it was restarted when the ball wasn't even near the rim.
Technical problem because the Perth Wildcats never really gained control, so they're going to wind down the shot clock down to 14 seconds. That was a highly ambitious pass by Luke Cooper. But I like the idea because the Perth Wildcats like to get up and in and really pressure those passes, so should open things up for those backdoor cuts. Oh, that's way off by Luke Cooper. I mean, did someone open a door and was there a strong breeze? Because that missed by a metre.
You are a lot more critical than you used to be in the past.
No, I mean, we all have those things. I just wasn't sure whether there's a problem with the venue and the door opening or something. But have a look at the teamwork of the Perth Wildcats and the distribution and way they two big fellas work together.
Man, 5 years ago, you'd have never said that. That did miss by 3 feet sideways. Kazoo finds a little bit of room, but then he comes up against the height of Luke Neville. Luke Cooper again wide open outside the three-point line. He had another crack, did not hesitate. Martin finds Sean Redditch. He comes up short. Kazoo gets it. Kings with numbers. Cooper back to Bowes for the jam. Well executed fast break by the Sydney Kings. Sydney not backing down from the first place Perth Wildcats.
The 6'7" Anatoly Bowes running the floor well.
I was wondering how long it was going to take you. If you just picked up on Andrew Gaze talking about 6'7" as Luke Neville gives the Perth Wildcats a 3-point lead. In Townsville last week, I said Anatoly Bowes was 6'5", and he is 6'7".
We went and spoke to him before the game, and he looked me eye to eye. Luke Neville, if you play behind Julian Kazoo, you're going to be in some problems. And have a look here. Easy as you like, goes up with the one hand and just tucks it in.
Yeah, he's got a lot more ups than that, as we saw last week in Townsville. Timeout on the floor here at the City Entertainment Center. It's the Perth Wildcats with a 3-point lead, 12-9.
Stratco, saving you big. You can enjoy the outdoors all year round under an Outback veranda patio with no deposit, 4 years interest-free. Plus, you receive a $200 gift card. Stratco, saving you big.
The war to defeat hair loss is now over. Advanced laser therapy fights for hair regrowth while strand by strand replaces hair that's been lost forever. That's a total victory.
Just like mine.
Call now.
Guys on the glass, right? So offensively, we want 3 on the glass. You guys have got to manage the D-trans, right? One-on-one containment, right? Down in our stance, know where we're forcing them. Talk it up. One shot. Right? We can't let these guards fly at the glass. Right? Here we go.
Kings happy with how things are going right there. A couple of adjustments by Ian Revilliard. And Shooting the basketball at 50%, the Perth Wildcats. It just looks like a team that's so confident. You talked about the good ball work.
They whip it through hands, and they've got great understanding of where everyone should be, and particularly the big fellas down low, and they do have a huge size advantage. Luke Neville, he's a beast down low. Julian Kazoo caught Luke Neville out on the defensive end, playing behind, and he's gone to the line to shoot a couple. We spoke about his little stint around Christmas time when he went to the Golden State Warriors. Before going to the Warriors, he was averaging 18.6 points per game at almost 48%. Since coming back, almost 5 points have been taken off his scoring average. In the last 5 games, he's only averaged 13 points at 38%. So, doing a great job on the boards and a shot blocker, but just come off the edge a little bit with his scoring, and there's a travel. Have a look at this. One, the lift, just drag that left pivot foot.
If Sean Redditch can do that, he can get by anybody.
He's going to increase his scoring average if he's allowed to do that.
He's hard enough to guard. Let him slide the pivot foot like that.
Graham Dan's checked into the game, and he was a turning point for the Sydney Kings. Trailed it by 10 early on, and Graham Dan came into the game and had his best game in a long, long time. 13 rebounds and 11 points last week. And Luke Martin knocks down the three-pointer.
Cam Toby's wide open. Terrible transition defense by Sydney.
Well, Steve, they tried to throw a little bit of Perth Wildcats' own medicine at him and tried to extend the defense, and they went right by him. Look at the shooting stats. Perth Wildcats doing a good job, 54%. And there's a travel.
Good hands by Cam Toby. Just kind of got a piece of it on the way up, and Ratch grabbed it and then landed. Of course, that's a traveling violation.
Jesse Wagstaff's checked into the game, and in the past 4 games, he's been a revelation with the extended minutes he's getting due to the absence of Matty Knight, and also some foul trouble there's been in some games to Sean Redditch. In their last 4-game winning streak, he's been averaging 18 points a game, Stephen.
That's just crazy. Ball's thrown away. That'll be a Sydney Kings basketball. Backcourt violation.
That's not it.
Well, the similar thing with Jesse Wagstaff, more of an opportunity, getting more minutes with the absence of Matthew Knight. Same thing for Luke Martin last week. It was Aaron Bruce going out for Sydney. Luke Martin's minutes picked up. ANZBallaz will get some of those minutes. Magin will get more of those minutes, and all 3 of those guys responded with a blinder in Townsville. Kazoo just spins to the baseline. He's just too big for anybody out on the floor now with Luke Neville on the bench. Martin, a little long off the back of the iron. Ratch pulls it down. His loose ball rebound. Luke Martin creating some space for himself. Again, drills for 2 this time. Just inside the 3-point line. Luke Martin picking up where he left off last week in Townsville.
Didn't he? Of course, he hit that 3-pointer in the extra overtime. And Jesse Wagstaff, he comes back and knocks down a 3. But Luke Martin had that big, big 3 to send that game into the double overtime for the Sydney Kings. And you just see the confidence tonight to come out. A couple of 3s.
On you.
And you're right, when you know that you're going to get those extra minutes, almost regardless of how you're going to play, because they have to out of necessity because there's no Aaron Bruce. Everything seems to loosen up, and so far tonight, Luke Martin just exuding confidence.
He inbounds the basketball for Sydney into ANZBallaz. Dan, with his size, gets it to Grant. It's stripped by Brad Robbins. Sweet defensive play by the undersized, in height anyway, Brad Robbins. Did a great job of getting rid of that without trailing. Wagstaff looked like he took a walk as well. Here comes Sydney. Martin looking for Grant down low. Back down to Grant. Ratch to Martin. shot clock down to 6. He throws it out of bounds.
Just tried to do a little too much then. They had their initial play, things broke down. Luke Martin having words with Kevin Rash. The point guards don't like it when they don't think they deserve a turnover in the stat column.
Robbins. Jeremiah Truman off the mark. Robbins with some super hustle. He said Robbins didn't touch it. He must not have, because he was right there. Brad Guish on the baseline. You can tell normally when someone has really gotten it wrong. Players just accepted that one. Robbins, just too much size or girth for Luke Martin, but it results in a turnover. Get another look at this.
Oh, my. From here, yeah, maybe we didn't see it.
Yeah, but neither one of those guys argued too much. So. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He's standing right there with a better angle than we did. Bose. Grant has had a couple of good touches. This time his pull-up jump shot is short. Gets his own rebound. Bose puts it on the floor. Gets it to Ratch. Skips it to Martin. Luke Martin's just got it on a string. He's got 7 points off the bench for Sydney in the first quarter, giving the Kings a 3-point lead.
With the left, if you don't mind, Steve.
Martin, his floater's off the mark. Grant pulls down the board. Sydney kicking ahead. Bose goes baseline. Hands in by Drew Williamson. Kings in the bonus. They've been very aggressive.
They have, Steve, and have a look at this. He sees it, and there you just see with the right hand, just the little hand. Doesn't look like much on that replay, but just that stiff arm pushing it out of the way took him off his direct path to the basket. He had a lot of help. Williamson knew how much help was there because the big Truman was waiting there for Anatoly. Steve, we've said it before and we'll say it again. This is a spectacular effort by the Sydney Kings team and administration for what they're putting on here tonight.
They do a great job considering every time they get a big crowd, they have very big disappointing loss.
Well, 8,000 here tonight, and they're 4-5 at home and 4-5 on the road. So it doesn't really matter where they play. Just really comes down to what they do. Reaching in foul call.
Blue 5 across the arm.
That's Graham Dan. We'll get another look. There's a lot of good hands here. Graham Dan gets the first one.
That's the second one, though.
Yeah, you could see Brad Robbins' left arm going down and his right one came up. I think it's more wishful thinking by the Kings than actual complaints. Perth Wildcats should be looking for the last one. Jeremiah loses the handles. It's a tough one to receive. Dan, the shot clock winding down. He just gets off balance. This Wagstaff gets charged with this and must have grabbed him and pulled him down.
This is the beauty of Graham Dan at 6'9". He can put the ball to the floor. As good as many guards in the competition. Got great handle. Unfortunately, this is where he is not good. It's a real adventure when Graham Dan goes to the free throw line. He's only shooting it on the season at 46%. He knocks that one down.
Dan way off with that one as Wagstaff pulls it down. He shoots the long one. It's got a bit too much on it. And after one